everyone, it's Amanda from Loops and Love Crochet, and I'm just working on this new little mini tote bag pattern on the blog, and I thought I would show you how to work the bag base up because I have a few of these rectangular tote bag shaped patterns on the blog, and I do get some questions on how to work the base of the bag. So I thought I'd show you kind of basically how that goes, and then you can apply that to the different patterns that you are working on. So for this pattern, I'm using worsted weight cotton yarn. This one, you can use any worsted weight cotton yarn, but this one here, oh, I just moved the yarn label, it kind of fell out here. This one is the Loops and Threads Cotton Colors yarn in the taffy colorway that I'm going to be working with. It has kind of grays and pinks and blues and purples and stuff like that mixed in here. This one here was a different colorway, but the same yarn brand as well. But you can use any sort of cotton yarn that you like. Now to start off with, you're going to need a chain of 29 for this little mini bag, but if you're working on a different pattern, you'll be chaining whatever the pattern asks you to. So I have my chain of 29 here. And then you're going to be working single crochet stitches in the second chain from the hook and in each one across until you get to the last stitch here. So I'm just going to redo my last chain here. So I got 29, and then we're going to work in the second chain from hook and in each one across. So we're going to go back all the way through these stitches. There'll be 28, well 27 in total, and then the 28th one will be the end one that we have to work 4 single crochet stitches in. So we're just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch. All the way across to the end. Just a few left here. All right, there we go. Okay, so just a couple here. And then we get to the last stitch, we're gonna work 4 single crochet stitches into the last stitch. And that'll just be to start our increases here to make the base a little bit wider. So here's the last stitch. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we will work on the next part here. So there's the last one. So there's 4 single crochet stitches here, and then we're going to work on the other side of the chain. We're going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch as well, all the way across to the end, and then when we get to the end here, we'll work 3 in that last stitch here. So we're just going to be going around in kind of rectangular or oval shape rounds here. So we're just working on the other side of the chain. Each of your single crochet stitches will go 1 in each stitch, and you can kind of see they line up across from the chain stitches you did already. Now I'm also kind of working in the yarn tail at the same time, so I don't have to weave that in later, but you can do that whichever way you'd like to do it. So just working all the way back across here, single crochet in each stitch across. Oops. Now your starting chain will change depending on the size of bag that you're making, as well as the number of rounds that you do for the increases. It just depends on how wide of a bag base that you are working. The more increasing rounds you do, the wider the bag base will be. And if you don't do any increasing rounds, or if you just do a couple of them, your bag will be a little bit narrower on the bottom. So it just depends on how wide you want the base to be, what you plan to use the bag for. There we go. So we're just back at the end here, and we're going to work, we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches right here in the end. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to join to the first stitch with a slip stitch. So we'll join in here with a slip stitch, and then we're going to chain 1, and then we'll start the next round of the bag base, and that'll be an increasing round there. And we're going to work 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and then we're just going to single crochet in the next 26 stitches. So I'm just going to work 2 single crochet stitches into that first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 26 stitches, basically all the way to until we get to the end where we made those 4 single crochet stitches. We're not going to single crochet there quite yet. We'll do that one after. We're just going to work in the first 26 stitches, so I'll do that off camera, and then I'll join back in with you when we get to the other end here. Okay, so here we are. Just finished those stitches across the top here, the 26 single crochet stitches. And now when you get to the end one here, this is where we put the 4 single crochet stitches into the same end stitch. In each of those ones, we're going to work 2 single crochets in each of those 4 stitches. So that'll be a total of 8 single crochet stitches. So and this is to work the increases on the base of the bag here. Make the base wider. There we go. So we did those 2 stitches in each of those 4 stitches. So that was 8 stitches. And then now we're going to 1 single crochet in each stitch across all the way back to the end. And then when we get back to the end, we're going to work increase stitches over there again. So we're just working increases only on the ends, and then just working single crochet stitches in the middle. Now, depending on how many rounds of increases you want to do, whenever you're finished working the increases, if you're happy with the size of the bag base, then you just start working 1 single crochet in each stitch, and then your bag will, it won't increase anymore, and you'll start to work on the height of the bag. But right now we're just working on the increases for the base here. And I guess I could have done that off camera, but we're back at the other side here. So now here's where we put the 3 single crochet stitches into the same stitch. So we're going to work 2 single crochet stitches into each of those 3 stitches there. So that'll be a total of 6 single crochet stitches. And then we're back around at the start. So we'll join to the first stitch with a slip stitch. There we go. So now we have a little bit wider of a base here, and then we're going to start out working the next round. So we're going to work 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 27 stitches. And the next 27 stitches is all the way up until you made the increases from the previous round. So right where we started working those 2 single crochets into each stitch, that's where you're going to stop with the 1 in each stitch, and then we'll work the next increase. So we're just going to work all the way across this middle section here. So I'll just do that off camera quick, and then I'll meet you back at the other end. All right, so we're back around here. I just did those 27 stitches, and then we're back. We'll work the increases in the same increase rounds from the same increase stitches from the previous round. So where we worked those 2 in each stitch, those 8 stitches, we're going to work our second round of increases, which is going to be alternating 2 single crochet stitches and then 1 single crochet in the next. So we're going to work 2 in the next stitch, and then 1. and then 2, and then 1, and then 2, and then 1, and then 2, and then 1. So now that was just in those 8 stitches where we did the increases from the previous round. And then we're going to single crochet 1 in each stitch all the way back to where those last 3 increase stitches were on the end here. So we'll just single crochet all the way back to there, and I'll just pause the video and do that off camera, and then I'll meet you over there. Okay, here we are back to almost where we started. There's just those 3 increases that we worked here: 2 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 2 single crochet, sorry, 2 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 2 single crochet from the previous round. And we're just gonna increase in those. So we're gonna do 2 single crochets in the 1 stitch and then 1 in the next stitch, and we're just going to alternate. 2 and then 1, and then 2, and then 1. And then we're back around at the start, so we're just going to join with a slip stitch. So there we are. Now, if you're happy with this size of the base of the bag, then you can just start working 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way up. I'm going to work one more round of the increases here. So I'm going to start out with, here's my chain 1. I'm going to work 2 double crochet stitches in this first stitch here, and then I'm going to work single crochet stitches all the way across in the next 28 stitches, which is all the way until the increases from the previous round. So we're just going to go all the way across the top here, and then when we get to the other side, we're going to work those increases again. Just make sure that you're only working the increases in the stitches that go around the outside here. So I'll finish off that one off camera. Okay, here we are. So now here are our increased stitches from the previous round where we did the 2 1 2 1 2 1, the single crochets, and now we're going to increase on those. So we're going to do 2 single crochet, and then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So it's going to go 2 1 1 2 1 1 all the way around in those increased stitches from the last round. So it's only going to go into these stitches here, into the 12 stitches. So we're going to do 2, and then 1 1, and then 2, and then 1 1 2, 1 1, and then lastly we'll do the last 2, and then 1 1. So those are those increases going around, and then we're just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way until we get to the increases again over here at the end. So we'll work in the next 26 stitches, or however many you're doing, depending on the pattern that you are working on. And we're going to just go all the way across. So I'll finish that, and then I will meet you back when we get to those increased stitches. All right, here we are back around at those increased stitches, and we're just going to repeat the same thing where we do 2 single crochets, and then we're going to do 1, and then 1, and then 2, and then 1 1 2, and then 1 1, and then we'll join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. And there we go. And look, it changed to purple right there. That was perfect timing for the color to change on the yarn. That doesn't usually happen there like that. So there we go. So now this is as far as I'm increasing this bag here. So here's the base of this bag here. If you want to have a wider bag base, then you would just continue on. We just did the increases to 2 single crochets and then 1 for the next 2 stitches. So then if you were doing another increase round, you would start off with the 2 single crochet stitches again, and then you would single crochet all the way across until you got to those increases from the previous round. And then you would do 2 and then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So you go 2 and then 1, 1, 1, and then 2 and then 1, 1, 1, all the way around those increases. And then you would single crochet in each stitch along the bottom. And then you would do 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1 for increases around the last part here. So now that we're finished the increases, the bag base is done, and now you just need to work the height of the bag. So you're just going to start working some rounds of single crochet. I'm going to show you on this bag here. So once the bag base is done here, so you can see the turquoise color actually is the bag base from this bag here, and then the kind of coral color stitches, that's where we just worked single crochet stitches in each round. And then what that naturally does is it pulls the bag upwards here, so you start working on the height of the bag. And then you can kind of choose what you want to do with other stitches or looking at the pattern that you're working on. This one I have crisscross stitches and then a couple rounds of single crochet. So you could do something like that, or you could work on, I have other shell type ones as well, so you can check out some bag patterns on the blog or just do what inspires you. And then when you get to the top, I just did a few rounds of single crochet and then I worked the handle. And I do have a video tutorial on my YouTube channel on how to work the handle of this type of bag, so that you might find that useful to check out. And if you're making like a circular shaped kind of market bag and you're working double crochet stitches in increasing rounds, I do have a tutorial for those kinds of crochet rounds on my YouTube channel as well, and then some tutorials for working the body of some of those market bags, and then the handles work pretty much in the exact same way as this handle here, so that might help for you to check that video out too. So here's our bag base here again. And now that we're finished this one here that we are working on together, so that's just the base there, then we're just going to start working single crochet stitches in each stitch around. I usually do that for about 6 rounds to kind of have a nice sturdy bag base before I start adding in some different types of area stitches here. Anyways, thanks for watching this tutorial, and you can check out these patterns on my blog, loopsandlovecrochet.com, and I would love it if you subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow Loops and Love Crochet on Instagram and on Facebook. All right, thanks so much for watching.